Akwa Ibom State Government partners Chinese government for entrepreneurship development. Stakeholders advocate 4 to 800,000 naira for new minimum wage. Plus, groups collapsed into Nigerian Coast Guard. A very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us on our news. I am Otobe Achibon with details of the headlines and other stories. Akwa Ibom State Government has commenced discussion with Chinese authority for possible partnership on entrepreneurship development. Governor of Akwa Ibom State Umoino stated this on his arrival at the Victor Atta International Airport from Abuja. Kelvin Samuel reports.
Briefing Government House correspondents on arrival at the Victor Atta International Airport, Governor Umoino says the discussion with Chinese ambassador is strategic for the accomplishment of the Arise agenda. He notes that it is part of his campaign promises to create diverse business opportunities within and outside the country to enable entrepreneurs in the state thrive in their businesses.
There are a whole lot of things we believe that we can collaborate with the Chinese, and they are doing well. So it's important that we start talking to them, but particularly we believe that at the end of it we should be able to lead the delegation to China of some of our young entrepreneurs who will want to do business in China.
The governor, who left the state to Abuja on Tuesday, 5th February 2024, returned back to the state Wednesday evening after a brief discussion with Chinese ambassador in Abuja. In Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
Stakeholders are proposing a new national minimum wage of between 400,000 naira and 850,000 naira per month to reflect the current economic landscape of the country and to cater for the well-being of the workforce. This formed part of the memoranda submitted at the South-South Zonal Public Hearing organized by the Tripartite Committee on the National Minimum Wage in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State.
Stakeholders from the federal, state and local governments, organized labor, employers association, SMEs and the civil society organizations are gathered here to recommend a new national minimum wage which takes effect from 1st April 2024.
The South-South Zone hereby proposes a new national minimum wage of 850,000 naira only for level 1, step 1.
But I'll be looking at 7 different angle scenarios where we have come out on the platform of the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria to make our demand for a new national minimum wage, which the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria has pegged at 447,000 naira for the least worker.
The federal and state governments represented here believe the public hearing will help achieve a fair and sustainable minimum wage that will entrench social justice.
Having listened to all the presentations that have been made, I want to encourage us that we as government, whatever harmonious review that will be done, will be willing and ready.
Yo, Dianime Uko, NTA News.
Some groups working in the Nigerian maritime environment have collapsed into the Nigerian Coast Guard in line with the directive of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy to increase their chances of being recognized by the federal government. The National Director of Coast Guard, Seken Namde Sunday, while accepting the groups, commended the federal government for its efforts in improving national security and assures that they are committed to complementing the works of the Nigerian Navy to ensure safety in the country's coastal lines. John Paul Alumuna has details.
The harmonization meeting was held to bring all the private security apparatus working in the coastal areas in Nigeria to come under one umbrella to be recognized to complement the efforts of the Nigerian Navy. The groups that collapsed into the Nigerian Coast Guard are Anti-Conflict, West African Garbage based in North Central, Mesomarine, the Nigerian Community Coast Guard, among others. Some stakeholders say the harmonization meeting became necessary to stop crises among the various groups and clashes with the Nigerian Navy on the coastal lines. They appealed to the federal government to facilitate the recognition of the group through the 10th National Assembly to strengthen security in the maritime environment.
From today, and the conflict stand to be part of, in fact, not part, has collapsed into
who are set today to join Nigerian Coast Guard to work as a team.
I am the most happiest one in Nigeria today. Having privileged to meet our fathers here today for the sake of Nigerian Coast Guard.
Following up that instruction given by the ministry, that is why everybody is collapsing into one, because it is the Nigerian Coast Guard. Because Coast Guard is owned by federal government.
It is an important venture in that if we have a Coast Guard, the Nigerian Navy will be relieved of some pressure of the workload behind the seafront.
The National Director of the Nigerian Coast Guard, Sekenimde Sunday, appreciates the group for joining them, noting that they are committed to improving safety in the nation's waterways. He warned some groups who are selling forms and defrauding the public to desist from such acts and appeal to the public to reach out to them through their official website www.coastguard.ng for further information.
First of all, I want to thank the federal government for seeing the need for Nigerian Coast Guard to come on board so that the maritime area will be secure. So, and I also want to appeal for them to hasten to vaccinate the Coast Guard.
High point of the event was presentation of 20 personnel trained by the United Kingdom government on maritime security. It would be recalled that the bill for the establishment of Nigerian Coast Guard was introduced on the floor of the 9th Senate in 2021 by Senator Akon Yakin, but it was dropped after the third reading. From Abak, John Paul Alumona, NTA News.
On education matters now, 5 students from Oro Nation who emerged winners of the maiden edition of Senator Akon Yaganyi Girl Child Speech competition have been presented with their prizes with a charge to remain focused in pursuit of their dreams. Kelvin Samuel reports that the Deputy Governor performed the presentation in her office, Government House, Uyo.
Organized by the Oro Leadership Roundtable, the Senator Akon Yaganyi Girl Child Speech competition is aimed at inspiring young girls for greater heights. Presenting winners of the maiden edition to the Deputy Governor, the team leader, Udeme Nyang, says the competition provided an opportunity for students from the 5 local government areas of Oro Nation to participate as a way of celebrating the 64th birthday of the Deputy Governor.
The performances of the girls were so awesome, and we were impressed that the future is female. So we consider it important that we have to give them a rising wing by making them to meet with our excellency so that they receive the momentum to move to the great future that we envisage for females in our Akwa Ibom State.
The Deputy Governor, Senator Akon Yaganyi, while receiving the winners, commends the organizers for the job well done, saying that she is convinced that the Oro Leadership Roundtable is instilling in the younger generations the boldness and audacity to stand out in their various fields of endeavor. She encourages them to always have in mind that God created them without limitations.
What you're trying to imbibe in this younger generation is what will make them to stand out. To stand out. You start building in them the boldness, the audacity of standing before people to speak. Even if there's a mistake, there's room for them to correct. That's the training you're bringing into the lives of the younger ones. So I want to appreciate you.
High point of the event was a representation of the winning speech to the Deputy Governor and presentation of prizes.
Permit me also to acknowledge the earnest efforts of a very distinguished Deputy Governor, Senator Dr. Akon Yaganyi, whose unwavering devotion to championing the cause of the female child I proudly stand to defend.
From the Government House, Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
The book, The Tailor, has been formally presented to the public with a call on all to be passionate and make significant impact in all areas of their lives. Edidi Ongiba reports that the author of the book is the renowned surgeon, Dr. Albert Ekup.
This signals the official launch of the long-awaited book, The Tailor, written by the renowned surgeon, Dr. Albert Ekup. The author, Dr. Albert Ekup, was nicknamed The Tailor by nurses and patients of St. Luke's Hospital Anoa, owing to his impeccable artistry in stitching up war-torn bodies of casualties from the Nigerian Civil War.
So we will be working for days, operating without seeing our homes. Indeed, I want to recall a section when, after being in the theater, operating from Tuesday morning to Thursday evening, I thought we should take a break, stretch our legs before going back, because the casualties kept coming.
The book, The Tailor, has 28 chapters and 248 pages. The autobiography draws analogy between the tailor and a surgeon. It tells the story of a young boy whose father initially wanted him to learn tailoring due to economic reasons, but who rose through the hurdles of life to become a surgeon who stitches human bodies like fabrics. The book reviewer, Dr. Udeme Nana, and other guests attest to the expertise in medical practice of the author and describe him as a passionate, dedicated, humble, and astute professional who, no matter how badly fractured the body was, will be able to fix it like a good tailor.
Both tailors and surgeons possess a unique set of skills that require precision, attention to detail, and a keen eye for aesthetics.
The first day I read a few pages, I was enjoying the smoothness of the storytelling. Fluent English.
That tailor sitting there has stitched so many torn clothes in human beings.
His wife and other family members say they are happy to share the gift of Dr. Ekup with the world.
I've learned a lot from my husband. He's humble, he's simple, he likes his family, he likes others, he likes to help the less privileged.
I'm thankful to God Almighty that I've finally been able to put this down as some sort of monument. Because at the end of the day, it would feed all the classes of people.
There is anybody arrived sitting around with to listen to stories. It is my own.
People can share, can learn, and there's so much in that book. That has natural flow. It's very reader friendly, and you can see reality. You can see real life issues and how he maneuvered. My joy today is that other people will at least get a bit of what we have been enjoying. My other joy is that people will also learn to realize that every story is beautiful.
In Uyo, Edith Yongiba, NTA News.
Increasing cost of food commodities in Nigeria is a source of worry to Nigerians, and some experts blame the rippling effect of government policies as reason for the skyrocketing of prices of goods and services. Its effect on Nigerians, analysts describe as a call for concern as Nigerians advocate better food policies to cushion its impact. Evelyn Badu Ekbu has more.
The rising cost of foodstuff and services is taking its toll on Nigerians, and Akwa Ibom is not an exception, with prices of commodities soaring and becoming far from reach of the poor. On a daily basis, traders literally struggle with exchange rates to purchase goods for sale.
When I joined this business many years ago, like 2016, there are products that have increased more than 5 times of the price before. So like the pig tape then was 6,850. Now it's 22,500.
If you budget that you are coming to buy a particular product at a price,
just have it at the back of your mind that you are going to see a different price, because companies bring out prices per second, per minute, per day. And most of the times we just get confused on which price to sell.
Likewise, this price now per bag is 85,000 a bag. Then all this local one, way Sunday, that one 45,000. All those things, like prices are high now.
Statistics by the MBS indicates about 35 inflationary increase in food items as of January 2024.
The seller finds out that there are no buyers. Certainly that seller would rethink.
So that is how it is. That is how bad it is.
Salary earners, you know what it means. It's maybe you are budgeting 15,000 for the month, you end up spending 30,000. And our salary is not increasing by the day, so it affects everyone.
Amidst this rising cost of food prices, the federal government unveiled some proactive measures of intervention to cushion its impact, declaring a state of emergency on food security. Similarly, state governments, including that of Akwa Ibom, are taking a cue by recently distributing gari, a widely eaten staple, from the state-owned cassava farms and sold at subsidized rates, a gesture they say will remain that way alongside other interventions, which include provision of farm inputs identified through cluster group farmers to encourage widespread farming.
So much that is gotten from the greenhouse, when it is brought out to be sold, those items are sold at very moderate prices, affordable prices. So that's an intervention.
The government provides us with gari. We bought gari at an affordable price. My family, my husband, my children, we really enjoy it.
Interacting with some traders on this development, this class of Nigerians identified transportation of food commodities as rice, onions and beans from the northern part of the country, largely affected by the loss of demand and supply, as well as the place of marketing unions having a stronghold of prices of commodities.
I need government to cancel all the union in this state and the federal government to cancel, like Gary, without union. Nobody can go to Gary market and come back and sell.
You plant this water leaf like this, you carry it to market, union no allow you to sell. So you use the suffer, now rainfall, all the water leaf, you no see customer because of union, you no carry and go market. So money no dey, as at now, carry is 3 cup 500.
Although the impact of the government's intervention of prices of food commodities in Akwa Ibom State is yet to be felt in the open markets, the people are advocating viable monetary policies that will lay a foundation for a long-term economic development plan.
That report wraps up the English segment of the bulletin this morning. Up next is the news translation with Uwemedimo Samson. Have a good day.
Akwa Ibom sirebe ngirem eridiana kerie China namdu bege. Men wanda isogo etanga bangan dutame minimum wage edido 1,000 naira iki nang 1,000 naira iki ita. Eko no mention sionka ku fo utum ko edong ke kendo tam utum. Akwa Ibom emesiero nganyang medu Uwemedimo Samson yai ko membok nyen sini no mufo ku bagu seneme. Ukara Akwa Ibom State eto yang arinie ndeme je merai wood kiro China kiri diana ket namdu bege abigiben uforo irogidi state army ado rai wuru kara Akwa Ibom State paso moino akenam no ediongo minanga kenyongo Abuja adi yai kombogomi mfon nanga akeni ege ndeme jemme okombok nanga keri gwogo anwa ubum from Victor ta adai wuru kara Akwa Ibom State pasto moino ama bo ken neme ekeni ege je mbono me China ado ndotam erinam kpo no asanga kubunum kpo ame arise agenda anyengo mabu keminko asanga kenwongo imoy kinama kini imoy kiyemme ifam ukara keriben sionsio ndubegendi yembun esannekok kendubege kirut nyan ye ke senidot manaturum bonawo ke steremi ekene nam dubegedo ame bigiben uforo idi ketogo nsionsio ikbege ye nkori mendu tememi akenam no raiburu kara state ami pastor moino akenam isang aka Abuja akenie mbonon neme yembon Chinese kendutam edi yemusong mben uforo ndondi state army mikuyo me akama ndutam ufogutum kara kirut nyen enien neme kabanga ke ndutam akok ekoto new national minimum wage edido 1,000 naira ikinang ye 1,000 naira ikie itaita yeba merup kwa fiong kekeneke nsongompo abaga kirut nyen ami akeda katum bono ama committee serem boy bang ndutam minimum wage egetu mo kikbege ame south ka Kwaibum state ya ikumbogo mim fon mbono wo bono kemi edo me mbon utum ukara kensionsio ikbege ufogutum kirut nyen ketogo ufogutum ukara irut nyen ame state ye ame nkok ukara korom mensionsio nkamfen kirinien neme nyongtangiko mbanga ufa kok ukara esekerianekbe mbonutum ekoto new national minimum wage ame abegitiongo ka pausen ka fiong inang iswa 2024 mboganam no ediong ebo ke Nigerian Labour Congress ikbagame south ebo kena ukara esekbe okok ame minimum wage 1,000 naira ikie itiaita ye abameru kwa fiong eno afat mbon utum ukara kini Trade Union Congress ebo kena do 1,000 naira ikie inang ye ba mitiaba nko mbone make kwen utum ukara enyongaitang amemmo kembonodo mbon utum ukara do emaibo kembonodo aya nwam ammo ataitieti kenini unyemme a beginien songonda seyem no ukara esekpe ommo ata wen gwere committee esegem kpoibanga ndotamame minimum wage kirut ekpo nta ama tang mention siompo ame anaran tesanga kendutam akodo kefen neme mbonodo ame ke togo afat ikbege ukara itioke kirut nyen ama sanga ye ufa akok anaga nte ukara ekpe kwa fiong koro mbet anaga nte wo eko fango ndotam ado koro mention sio mpom fen uwemedi mo Samson akom etang boketa ufono pa ba ke besanu wam eno iban no moida ko yogondaga idememmo edinie uforo ami ado miko amemmen wonda iso wo ko tuiban eketanga nangante iban iba kembeng idem edidara usen iban kefot unarut ekoto International Women's Day amiswa 2024 yaikombogo mi utabe achibon
nte unadot esokebe ngidem editu musen esiogene no iban ekodo Women's Day afare wesunu wiebo kerusu kara membionti wodye frefat ikpere utomukara nkoro ufogutumu nkanga wenege bo ya moy kaniso esi iban ege musongdang ekpena mentimpo esengidemi ban ba toro ufuru arogori dremi usene mi esiuge na mi aro usene fiong teta ke fiong taiso kisenemi ena mediongo kedo ini edikan boke benni what mention sunyanu boxi ban isi boyeto ubarado mentim yem fanno moy boyo eto mbonu fogomo nkoro adusat ye mention sio mpomfen eboke iniedum edikan niso nsedang ekbe nwami ban eboyo utom fanantumme ataifiok imabong David ado ke tumme andikbe ke ufongwet ntaifiok uyo anye ba ke ikpegengwet ekodo Faculty of Education nko anye sorobo ke inintum ado siban esongidem ekpong edisong doronyen ke mebe mo yukara kedo se mo enyon ekamoboke na mensun siompo barato desuke kaiso eba ofon eno edem mo ke siogo mebe ye ukare fip eboki wori ko edigi kama itumuseni bananye ki swami ekod ki kombaka inspire inclusion eye medise dang ekpeben mi banesen ke tu ke free kpege utumukara yeke unadot barato di ban ekane ni ukbono emane ni ese ename no mo
yang moe woda ntemme ni sowo ke unado miku yo utbe achubon akombok inti.
Akwa Ibom tembok nyan kuba usene mi atrero yang me adu we medimo samsene so songa kem bangotong tutun nubre yo.